Point is they didn't vote for him because of racism and misogyny. They voted for him because they felt like, I think the biggest common denominator in this election is people want a good life and ability to provide for their family.
Well,
and whether we agree or not with Donald Trump's plans,
Black people
they thought that he was reflective.
One of the poorest demographics in this country, but they voted for Kamala Harris.
But there was a split, and more of them voted for Donald Trump than had historically. I think that there's such a desire. If you really think the vast majority of this country voted because of racism and misogyny, you're missing it. Most of my family, a lot of my family doesn't have college degrees.
But the stats are the stats.
But that's not, it doesn't say I voted for Donald Trump because of racism. That's not what stat. What stat are you talking about?
You can't dissect the two.
Yes, you can. There's a lot
Hold on. Calm down. Everybody just take a breath. Take a breath. Well, take a beat.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I know a lot of people are not surprised by this, but I want to just be real with you guys, as always. This is disgusting, sad, sickening, a disgrace. And she ought to be ashamed of herself for saying this live on air. How can this come out your mouth? And blaming the Trump win on racism, sexism, and calling people uneducated, especially if you don't have a college degree. What? So I gave y'all a fair warning, man. This is disgusting. And it's sad, man. And again, but honestly, to be real with y'all, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. You gotta love the meltdowns. This show needs to be canceled. And they might as well get rid of Alyssa. Remove Alyssa or because I'm telling you, this is going to be it. They get into a full-blown fight. A full-blown fight, y'all. They might as well remove Alyssa now because she's not going to be there that long. And as you're gonna see in this clip, she got fed up. Fed up with Sonny Hostin, man. This lady's a disgrace, man.
You know, I know that as a country, it's very difficult for people to believe that racism and misogyny, they're just alive and well. I think that we don't want to think that about ourselves, our neighbors, our friends. But it's my lived experience tells me that it does still exist, even if your lived experience doesn't tell you that it exists. And, you know, the facts support that. I think we have a graph. If you look at there's a clear racial divide in who voted for Trump as opposed to who voted for Kamala Harris. It's very clear. It's not only clear by race, but it's also clear by education. And so the notion somehow that is not true. This is by education. Those who attended college voted for her at a higher degree than those that didn't.
But I think I've said that. His point.
Let me just finish. And so I've said that before, and there was so much backlash because I think it's an uncomfortable, inconvenient truth about this country.
But his whole point is they didn't vote for him because of racism and misogyny. They voted for him because they felt like, I think the biggest common denominator in this election is people want a good life and ability to provide for their family. And whether we agree or not with Donald Trump's plans, they thought that he was reflective.
One of the poorest demographics in this country, but they voted for Kamala Harris.
But there was a split, and more of them voted for Donald Trump than had historically. I think that there's such a desire. If you really think the vast majority of this country voted because of racism and misogyny, you're missing it. Most of my family, a lot of my family doesn't have college degrees.
But the stats are the stats.
But that's not, it doesn't say I voted for Donald Trump because of racism.
That's not
what stat. What stat are you talking about?
You can't dissect the two.
Yes, you can. There's a lot more.
You know, I know that as a country, it's very difficult for people to believe that racism and misogyny, they're just alive and well. My lived experience tells me that it does still exist.
Pause. Maybe it's not because people are racist or misogynist. Maybe, just maybe, if we're going, this is all predicated on your behavior on air being who you are. Could be because you're a raging bitch.
Oh, yeah, I had to throw that last clip in there in the intro, y'all. But you know, I know some of y'all right now is hot. Your piss is hot. You know, but y'all also happy. Y'all also smiling. You know, because we won, man. You know, and these meltdowns, these fights, attacking each other, going off, losing it. You know, freaking out. We actually, you know, as bad as it seems, you know, you gotta love it, you know. But again, to come on live on air, and you seen Whoopi had to step in. It got so bad, and she in deep water. And she on thin ice too. Well, actually, the ice broke. I don't know how this show is still on air, but we know about ABC. You see, in the legacy media, you see everything has tanked, and they are in big trouble. And I tell you, these next 4 years are gonna be something. It is gonna be something, you guys. You know, but to go live on air and to have that come out your mouth, I just didn't know how low they can go. But I tell you, they can go low. Drop it like it's fucking hot. They go lower and lower and lower. But to call, I mean, we're used to the insults. We're used to you know, to being cut off, blocked, unfollowed, our family against us, friends. I mean, it's happened to me. So again, nothing hurts our feelings. I tell you, them Patriots, them Trumpers, MAGA, we got tough skin. Shout out to them Patriots around the world. You know, shout out to them beautiful Patriots, my brothers and sisters, man, from all different backgrounds, skin colors, ages, all around the world, man. And I'm sick of this race card. I'm sick of it. I am sick and tired of the race card, man. One love to the human race. And people like Sunny Hostin is the reason she is one of the biggest problems that we have now. She's a part of the problem. And why we're so divided. But something is wrong with that lady. How can that come out your mouth? How? That we, you know, she first she attacked white women the 2 shows ago, calling them uneducated, you know, and then pulls the race card as always. Sexism, misogyny, you know. And now they bring out this crap chart. And she done pissed everybody off. Calling people uneducated, especially if we don't have a college degree. Oh, because the first first black woman president, she didn't get elected. She was supposed to be the first black woman. She ain't even black. She couldn't complete a sentence. We all thought she was drunk. Every time we seen her talk in public and tried to answer a question, couldn't answer it, she was drunk. Didn't earn it. That's DEI. Didn't earn it. Drunk entire inventory. She was drunk. Word salads. What the hell did you just say? Tomorrow was Thursday, and then on Friday, from what can be unburdened on Saturday morning, and then through the passage of time, the American people have dreams and aspirations. Because we going to be dreaming, and then it's going to be an aspiration from when the significance of a passage of time. What? But did she really think people were gonna and then Sunny Hostin, the clip went viral on the spew. We call it the spew, y'all. On the view, on the spew. Of you asking her what would she would have done different than Joe Biden. You gave her a viral moment right there. And they took that small clip, the Trump campaign, and they ran that ad everywhere. It was viral. I'm joking. I'm choking, y'all. I'm choking. You know? But to come on here, man, it's just it's sad, and we're living in some dark times, y'all. And that's why I wish the best in everybody's life, man. But if y'all are enjoying the video so far, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We keep it real. I'm gonna start not to try to talk so much, but again, I have to. That's what makes my videos my videos, man. I got to be real with y'all. I know some of y'all don't like when I talk so much, but I got to be real because this is a disgrace. And this is why we will continue to go back. We will never go forward. We will never go forward in this society, in this world. We will never move forward, man. Because we got people like that live on TV, man. We have shows like that actually exist. And I tell you now, they might as well get rid of Alyssa. Remove her, get rid of her. You know, because it don't look like she gonna last any longer. After that, right? After that huge viral clip, I just don't see it, y'all. After that big fight, nah. And we seen her get into a fight with Alyssa 2 shows ago. You know, because now you offended her to a point where, you know, you're coming after her family, her loved ones that don't have college degrees. And I'll be real with y'all. It's a bunch of patriots on here. Some of y'all are a lot of y'all, not some, a lot. That, you know, with the degrees, dropouts that are very successful. I myself dropped out. I got up out of there. After 2 years, I said, And then COVID hit, I went straight to the house, packed my bags, and drove 8 hours. No, was it 9? I think it was 8, 9 hours. I drove, was it 10? I think it was 10 because it was all the way from Kansas. But anyways, I got in that little small car. I packed everything up, and I drove back to the house. That was it for me, man. I'm proud. A proud dropout. And shout out to my dropouts, man. If you got a dream, if you got something you can achieve, I'm telling you, you can achieve it, man. Now, in some situations, you might need that paperwork. I'm just saying. Unless you know somebody. If you know somebody, hey, you know, that's why it's always good to know somebody, man. You must know some of them if you know some of them patriots, you'll get in there, I promise you. You know, if you know some of them patriots. But I want to check this video out, y'all. I know this video is going to play well with what with everything that's going on. So let's go and jump into this. But you just can't make this up, man. This is sad, man. The spew. I don't know how anybody can sit up and watch that crap. You should be ashamed of yourself if you sit up and watch it. And that's why y'all lost. To the people that sit up and watch that crap, we can't feel bad for you no more. That's why you lost. Because you sit up there and listen to them women, you listen to the fake news, the propaganda, the lies, and now look what's been exposed these last couple of weeks. I want my tax dollars. I want my money back. I want my dollars back, man. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. The government, I mean everything, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. A disgrace, man. And I hope the Trump administration, them Republicans, they just go in there and clean house. We just drain the swamp. Drain it.
What a shocker that the people who see everything through the lens of race and sex see their election loss as a result of racism and sexism.
Believe that racism and misogyny, they're just alive and well.
But that's not, it doesn't say I'm white, I voted for Donald Trump because of racism. That's not what that. What stat are you talking about?
Let me just dissect.
All right, so first it was Morning Joe. Now it's Bill Maher who's catching heat from The View, and particularly Sonny Hostin, who's continuing to get into fights with people on the show, which we're going to show you, to the point where Whoopi Goldberg had to jump in. This is happening because ratings are dipping, they're panicking, and they still refuse to accept what happened in this election. So let's see what Bill Maher said that caused Sonny Hostin to lose her mind.
Someone must tell the usual suspects on the far left that the saying is, when you're in a hole, stop digging. You just lost a crazy contest to an actual crazy person. What a shocker that the people who see everything through the lens of race and sex see their election loss as a result of racism and sexism. Yes, if only we weren't so irredeemably unenlightened, we would have elected a black president by now. Oh, what, we did? Asked if racism is built into our society. White progressives agreed with that at higher levels than black and Hispanic people. They don't want your pity. And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them.
Well, if he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who actually had policy plans to help the working class? I mean, you know, again, I got my popcorn. I don't know why people did what they did. I see all these reasons, and so, okay, time will tell. But what do y'all think?
Well, I'll tell you what I think. It's very clear that what he was saying is correct. It is that simple, stupid. I mean, Jesus, I mean, when are they going to get it, right? They believe it's due to identity politics, but then when we go the identity politics route, they say they weren't using identity politics, that Republicans were. So make it make sense. And let's not forget, if you're getting value from this show, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you want to support us further, go to the link in the description below, shop our merch store, or buy us a cup of coffee. Now, one thing is for sure, even if I agreed with you, Whoopi, that she did have plans, the problem is she never did any of it while she was vice president. Joe Biden didn't do any of it while he was president. So why would I take a gamble on someone who's offering me to do something, but they could have already done it? No, thank you.
I just, you know, I know that as a country, it's very difficult for people to believe that racism and misogyny, they're just alive and well. I think that we don't want to think that about ourselves, our neighbors, our friends. But it's my lived experience tells me that it does still exist, even if your lived experience doesn't tell you that it exists. And, you know, the facts support that. I think we have a graph. If you look at there's a clear racial divide in who voted for Trump as opposed to who voted for Kamala Harris. It's very clear. It's not only clear by race, but it's also clear by education. And so the notion somehow that is not true. This is by education. Those who attended college voted for her at a higher degree than those that didn't.
But I think
I've
you're
said
missing
that.
his point.
Let me just finish. And so I've said that before.
Some of the ones that ain't touched a foot on a college campus are some intelligent, smart, brilliant people, man. Geniuses. I'm just saying, I had to say that. I'm sorry. Don't mean to pause it, but I had to say it, man. There's a lot of people, even on this channel, a part of our family on this channel. A lot of amazing people that ain't never touched ain't never been into a classroom at a professor. And I agree with Elon Musk had a viral clip talking about this, not needing to go to college. Y'all, if you've seen it, you've seen it. I'm pretty sure everybody that's watching this, you've probably seen that clip of Elon Musk speaking about. Again, you could just go type it in and look it up. Of Elon Musk on, do we really need college? And he called it a scam. I'm not on here saying college is a scam, and I don't want to, take anything away from anybody, especially if you got that hard work in, did what it did, did your studies and, put the late night in. I ain't gonna take nothing from nobody, man. I want to congratulate you. I want to congratulate you guys, man. That you graduated, that you did this, that you did that. But there's certain points to where, it honestly could be a scam. And honestly, we live in a corrupt scam matrix. So there's no way around that.
And there was so much backlash because I think it's an uncomfortable, inconvenient truth about.
No, it's not a inconvenient truth. It's that your perception of that truth is false. And what I mean by that is this. Just because we're separating people by race or what their education was, still doesn't mean that they're racist. In fact, what it shows you is that if we looked at Joe Biden's numbers from 2020, which were far more superior than Kamala Harris, it nips your argument in the butt because Joe Biden is a white dude on record of being racist and telling people, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And he still got better numbers than Kamala Harris. So is it really about racism at that point?
But his whole point is they didn't vote for him because of racism and misogyny. They voted for him because they felt like, I think the biggest common denominator in this election is people want a good life and ability to provide for their family.
Well,
and whether we agree or not with Donald Trump's plans,
black people
they thought that he was reflective.
One of the poorest demographics in this country, but they voted for Kamala Harris.
But there was a split, and more of them voted for Donald Trump than had historically. I think that there's such a desire. If you really think the vast majority of this country voted because of racism and misogyny, you're missing it. Most of my family, a lot of my family doesn't have college.
What a fact. What a check. I mean, what a check. She checked her ass. And Alyssa been checking her for this whole all these meltdowns. She been getting checked by Alyssa. I'm telling y'all, and that's why you see them fighting. And watch when they air the next show. I promise you, if it's another viral clip, she ain't gonna be on there. They gonna give her a break, a leave, you know, because it was so hot. They probably happy for all this because this is bringing again after Trump won, you know, I told y'all what to expect, man. And they probably happy that this is blowing up all over the internet and everything because again, their ratings are tanking. Everybody's tanking in ratings right now, you know, because they lied. You know, Hitler, dictator on day one, threat to democracy. Fascists, you know, they're Nazis. We're in big trouble if he gets back in. Yeah, how did that work? He's the bad man. He's a convicted felon. Oh, how did that work out for you?
But the stats are the stats.
But that's not, it doesn't say I voted for Donald Trump because of racism. That's not what that. What stat are you talking about?
Let me just dissect.
Yes, you can.
Wait. Hold on. Calm down. Everybody just take a breath. Take a breath.
Okay. Well, listen, at this point, if they continue to talk about what happened in this election, they will continue to fight amongst each other because Sunny Hostin is not going to approach this from a common sense perspective. She is not open-minded. She's already made up her mind that it is due to sexism and misogyny, and no person in this world is going to be able to convince her of that. Now, for the adults in the room who do have an open mind and are curious, the fact remains, it is simple. The economy, okay, and immigration. It's not our fault. It's not the Republicans' fault that the Democrats massively underestimated that issue. They didn't listen to their voters. They refused to pay attention to it.
He says that folks see everything through the lens of racism and sexism. Not everything. But if you're not seeing racism and sexism in America, then you need to clean your lenses.
But
because, you know, so this is something that I also find interesting, that when Democrats and liberals talk about race or sexism, it's immediately labeled as identity politics, which has a negative connotation. It's a term that Republicans have coined, and it's been very effective. But when Donald Trump goes to Miami and talks to Cubans, that's not identity politics. When Donald Trump goes to Dearborn, Michigan and promises Arabs something, that's not identity politics. When he goes to Jews and promises them the opposite, that's not identity politics.
Yeah, see, the difference is when Republicans do it, it's more genuine and it's not based on woke ideology. It's based on common sense. It is common sense to go speak to people where they're at, right? And to make that connection, to go into areas of a community that historically Republicans wouldn't go to, but because Trump is trying to be a president for all, he would go there and make those connections. And let's just keep it honest. Kamala Harris was such a weak candidate. Those were weaknesses on the board. So it makes sense as a competitor. Yep, I'm going to go hit that. I'm going to go hit that. I'm going to go hit that. Why? Because we know she wasn't strong in those areas. All right. Now, here is a more common sense approach to this entire topic. Is there sexism, racism, misogyny in this country? Absolutely. Are there people who literally live their lives that way that voted in this election? Absolutely.
Yes.
But did that decide the election?
No.
No, it didn't.
Nope.
So then why spend all this time talking about this when it wasn't even the contributing factor, the main factor, the X factor to the election results? Kamala Harris was a weak candidate. Her campaign message was a walking contradiction. She's part of the incumbent party. History tells us they don't win re-election when things are this bad. Immigration, economy, cost of living, foreign policy, that was all L's in her column. Why not just...
Celebrities too, Hollywood, they can't, Diddy all, they can't help you. Sorry. Throw the Diddy all out on the floor. And if I was on that side and I sent in a donate, I'd be mad. Oh, I would be mad to see where that money went. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. Billions. Down the drain. Beyonce. Oh. Swifty, you're a Swifty? Hold your cat up, Taylor. Oh. Megan Thee Stallion, come on and twerk that thing. Left cheek, right cheek. Come on, twerk those cheeks on stage for us. So we can get all these black people excited. Let's invite these rappers up and everything, all these artists. Get some of these movies. Come on, yeah. We're definitely gonna clean house with them. Pansies. You know, beta males, woke, soft. You know, a terrible campaign. And some people still was so excited. They had so much joy. And they sent that lady up there. She up there talking to the voters like children and little boys and little girls, little kids. Oh, we're going to turn the page. We're going to turn the page. Come on now. We're going to say no to Mr. Trump and Mr. Vance. Yeah.
Just focus on that. So let's revisit some of these graphs that he had in his video that I think are important to his conversation. Percentage that agrees with this statement. America is the greatest country in the world. Hispanics come in at 75%. Black people come in at 58%. White progressives come in at 31%. Now that tells the story on why progressive ideals are a disease to this country. Here's another one. Percentage that agrees with this statement. Racism is built into our society. 38% say Hispanic, 62% for black, 75% for progressives. So white progressives are more sensitive to racism than black people are. Make that make sense. And of course, this is what decided the election. Remember, 49% of Hispanics agree that government should increase border security and enforcement. White progressives, 15%. So let's take a look at Blue Skies, which is pretty much the source of where all the progressives ran to. And here is how they are melting down about what Bill Maher said. Here's a good one. God, I hate Bill Maher. I wonder why. Here's another one. Bill Maher is a dumbass with horrible political analysis. That's the post. Got it. This is obviously reacting to the title of this article, which is Bill Maher, Stupid Dems Need to Ditch Identity Politics, which is facts. See, the problem with the Democratic Party is they're not ready to change because they don't even acknowledge they have a problem. They don't even believe that they were guilty of using identity politics and it didn't work for them. I mean, they're that unhinged. Here's another one. Bill Maher is an unsufferable a-hole. Got it. Now, here's a deranged one. If Bill Maher is saying it, then do the opposite. So sick of these white men telling Dems how to run the party. They are basically saying ignore the base and center us dude bros. No.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And y'all know I have family members, people in you know, I've got into arguments and people that talk just like this, man. And then they use the race card. They blame white men for the white man for everything. They make excuses. They don't ever want to look in the mirror. They don't ever want to think for themselves. You know, they don't care what's going on. They don't want to hear the truth. I keep telling y'all, they run away from the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They could care less for the truth. That's just it. That's it. We got to keep it real, man. It's a bunch of pansies around here. We got to keep it real. We need true leadership, man. We need we need some patriots in there. And that's why this was the election results. That's why it was a landslide.
No. Let me correct that for you. They're basically saying to start using common sense and ignore how stupid you guys have been. Oh, here's another one. I'm sick of people like Bill Maher saying Democrats didn't offer voters anything. Dems offered reduced taxes, protection of Social Security, access to affordable health care, protection of constitutional rights, best economy in the world. The problem, though, is only one on that entire list was actually an issue for people in this election. And when I say issue, I'm talking about top three. Nothing that this person listed besides the last one even went to the top three. Cost of living, immigration, crime and safety, or abortion, or foreign policy. Come on, guys. Okay, so here's a question for you. If you could choose one thing that you could say has been the downfall for the Democratic Party, what would that one thing be for you? Now, for me, put your answer in the comment section.
Abortion. Celebrities. Hollywood. The media. The corrupt media. MSNBC tried. Now they support Trump. Now they went to Mar-a-Lago. Morning Joe, Mika, they went to Mar-a-Lago. We sorry, Trump. We love you, Trump. Mr. Trump, we're so sorry. You smell good. What that is? Did you get that off Amazon? Or where you get that fragrance from? Ooh, you smell good, Donald. Donald, you smell good.
And explain why. For me, it's progressives. So they have high
progressives. Ooh, that was a good one. I didn't said the same thing.
Jacked the Democratic Party and has caused that party to go too far left.
Yeah.
And that's why you had a lot of moderate Democrats shaking their head and saying, what is going on here? Even before the election took place. Now,
Yep. You know, and like I told y'all, man, we've been covering this thing for a while now, and again, we try telling y'all, man. We try telling y'all. I'm just happy. I get to smile now, you know, because I used to be an anti-Trumper. I used to be just like them. I did. And then we finally woke up. We finally seen what was going on. We finally went out and shot the gun. You know. We finally did our research and started thinking for ourselves. And I tell you, these last 4 years of my life has been the best journey ever. But make sure y'all hit that like button so more people can see this video. Comment down below what you think of everything, man. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Thank y'all for stopping by. I hope y'all enjoyed the show, man. Glad to bring my brother on, man. And that was an amazing put together on his end. And Time to drain the swamp, baby. Time to make America great again. It's time to bring common sense back. And yeah, call us what you want. You know, you can y'all keep making excuses. Racism, misogyny, sexism, whatever. Or uneducated. Cool. He's back in there. America.